All right, lesson 45. Mean, median, mode, range. Okay, a little bit of statistics. So yeah, I think you've done all of these in pre-algebra, but we'll just review them, all right? So write down what each of them mean first, okay? Range, the range of a set of numbers is the highest number minus the lowest number. Range is high minus low. All right, and then we've got the median. It's the middle number, but you have to put them in order first, okay? So, like, don't forget to put in order from least to greatest, and then we just find the middle number, okay? Now, let's say that my data looks like this, okay? What is the middle number? Great job, okay? It is 3. Let's say my data looks like this. Anyone know what to do if I have an even number of numbers? Bishnu?
Don't you find like the average between the two middle numbers?
Yes. Okay. So my two middle numbers are 3 and 7. So you have to add them and divide by 2. 3 plus 7 divided by 2. It's like the middle number between those two numbers, which is 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Okay, so your median for this second set of numbers is actually 5. You split it in halvesies, and you average those two middle numbers. All right, so if it's an odd set of data, there is a middle number. If it's an even set of data, you average the two middle numbers. All right. The mode is the number that occurs the most often. All right, so let's say I have this set of data. What is the mode? Great job, everyone. It's 1. I know, I wasn't trying to be tricky. Now, so it's 1. That's one that occurs most often. Let's say that I actually do this. Now there's like 3 1s and there's 3 12s. Then there's 2 modes. Okay? It's weird, but you can have 2 modes. All right? But otherwise, there's no mode if everything is 1 time, by the way. Like this one has no mode. Okay? All right, mean is the average. So you add up all the numbers and you divide by the number of numbers. Yep. All right. Let's do all the things, okay? Now, before you start, I would put the data in order because you're going to need it for range and for median. So let's start by writing down our data in order. So I have a 3, and then I have a 4, and then I have a 7, and then I have an 8, and then I have 2 9s, and a 10, and 12. Okay? And now we're going to do all the things. Let's start with the range. Jack, what do I do to find the range? That's right. The highest number minus the lowest number, 12 minus 3, which is 9. All right. Hanitha, what do you think the median is? Or give me the, how many numbers are there here? Give me the 2 middle numbers. There you go. All right, so here I split it in half. There's 4 numbers on each side, right? So what's right in the middle of those numbers? Anyone? 8.5. Good job. All right, if you don't know, you can do this. 8 plus 9, all divided by 2, which is 17, divided by 2. Anyways, it's 8.5, right in the middle. All right, now we've got our mode, which means most often. Giselle, what number is the mode? Yes. Okay, it occurs most often. All right, and then the one that's going to take the most amount of time is the mean. The first thing I need to do is add up all of these lovely numbers. Okay, so you would add all of those up. And let me just look and see what that is. That is 62. All right, so I add them all up and I get 62. And then I'm going to divide by the number of numbers. How many numbers are there? There are 8. Good. Okay, I want you guys on your homework to round to 2 decimal places, which means you might have to go out to the 3rd decimal place and then decide if you're rounding up or down, okay? So first of all, 8 goes into 62 how many times? 7. Okay, 8 times 7 is 56. So I would subtract 56. That would give me 6. Here's where your decimal is, okay? We're going to move the decimal straight up, and we're going to add a 0 onto here. So I bring down the 0. Now I do 8 into 60. How many times does 8 go into 60? Also 7 times. Subtract 56. That gives me 4. And I'm going to bring down another 0. How many times does 8 go into 40? Okay. It went in evenly this time, so we don't have to round, and that is your answer. The average of those numbers is 7.75. All right. Let's try one more. Okay, so first let's write them all down in order. If you guys could help me, what's the lowest? I know it helps because then we don't miss them, because I always miss them. All right, what's the next one? 70. Okay, good. What's the next one? 79. I know, right? And then 80. And then 81 and 81. 89, 92, 96. Okay, great. All right, let's start with the range. Josh, what should I do for the range? Good job. All right, the highest minus the lowest. That gives me 30. All right, now let's do the median. All right, my middle number. So you might count how many numbers there are, because sometimes it helps to know if it's odd or even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so how many numbers on either side? What's my middle number? Yeah, all right. Right here, I should have 4 numbers on either side. And so my middle number is 81. All right, and then I've got the mode, which happens most often. Luke, what is the mode? Also 81, because there are 2 of them right here. All right, and then I have the mean, and the first thing we would do is add up all of these numbers, okay? If these are rather large numbers, you're welcome to grab a calculator. We get on this one 734, okay, for the sum. So I have 734, adding them all up, and now I need to divide by what? There are 9 numbers, okay? Now, let's make sure we know how to do this. So 9 goes into 73 how many times? 8 times, because what's 9 times 8? Okay, so subtract 72. That gives you 1. Bring down the 4. Okay, notice this is where the decimal is. All right, anyways, 9 goes into 14 how many times? 1 time. That decimal is going straight up right there. So subtract 9. 14 minus 9 is 5. Bring down the 0. Okay, 9 goes into 50 how many times? 5 times. Good. 9 times 5 is 45. That gives me a 5. Bring down another 0. Boop. 9 goes into 50 how many times? 5 times. Okay, minus the 45 gives me another 5. That'd be another 50. Okay, 9 goes into that 5 times. This is basically just going to keep getting 5, 5, 5, 5, 5, right? All right, anyways, so I go to 3 spots, and then I need to round it to the second spot. So because this number is a 5, what am I going to make this number? Yeah, it rounds it up. If this is a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, it rounds that number up. If it's a 4, 3, 2, or 1, or 0, it just stays as a 5. Okay, so that is my answer. Okay, this is a new one. Don't zone out. Okay, that was samesies. That was kind of boring. All right, but let's try this one. This one's a little different. The mean of 4 numbers is 8. 3 of the numbers are 2, 4, and 7. Find the 4th number. Okay, I think you did this in pre-algebra. You used to do this with like overall average, I think is what they called it. All right, but basically we know the answer to a mean problem is 8. So I start by writing 8 equals. Okay, the mean or the average of 4 numbers is 8. So start with that. 3 of the numbers are 2, 4, and 7. So we add up all these numbers, but we are missing a 4th number. So you put plus an x. All right, so you add the 3 numbers plus an x that we don't know. And then if I was going to find the average of these 4 numbers, what would I divide by? 4, right? So the way you find the average is you add the numbers up and you divide by the number of numbers. We're just missing one of them, okay? But they gave us the answer. Next thing you want to do is multiply by the 4 to get it out of the denominator. That cancels. Since you're dividing by 4, little algebra, we times by 4 to cancel it. All right, so it goes away here. And then 4 times 8 is 32. And on this side, I have 2 plus 4 plus 7 plus x. Go ahead and add these up. That gives me 13 plus x. And I no longer have a divided by. All right, then I'm just going to subtract 13 from both sides, which gives me 19 equals x. All right, so all divided by 4 and then multiply by what's in the denominator and then find your missing number. All right, you guys, let's try some whiteboards.